Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about stress and how stress directly leads to most of our hair loss cases. So we all deal with stress in our everyday life, but what happens when that stress in your life becomes so overwhelming that it causes you to experience unimaginable hair loss and hair loss issues? That's what I'm going to be discussing in this video, so stay tuned. Now guys, we all deal with stress in our everyday life, whether it be our children, our spouses, our jobs, our finances. There's always a level of stress in everything that we do, and our bodies are equipped to handle that stress, and our bodies are equipped to help us to get what we need to, naturally get out of those very stressful situations. So in order for me to help you to describe some of the stressful situations and how stress can lead to hair loss, I've decided to split up a category of stressful people into two groups. There's a group of stressed out people who do not know how to naturally and effectively deal with their stress. That's one group. And then there's another group of people that have extreme trauma and they don't know how to deal with that traumatic stress. So I'm going to describe both of these groups to you in more detail so you understand which group you might be a part of if you're a part of one of these groups. So the first group that I'm going to talk about is people who do not know how to cope with everyday stressors, and it just builds up and builds up until they're overwhelmed and they start to lose their hair. So an example of this would be a person who is at work and their job is stressing them out. They don't like the hours, they don't like the pay, they don't like what they're doing, they don't like the people around them. Their job is just super stressful. They leave their job, they're in their car, they get stuck in traffic. Now on the way home, they are super stressed out because they don't like the traffic, they don't like what's playing on the radio. It's just little things that are just really getting to their mind and just stressing them out. Now what happens is they get home, and even though they love their family, they love their house, now they're seeing that there are dishes that need to be done, there's dinner that needs to be made, the kids are maybe pulling at you saying, Mom, come here, Dad, come here, and let's do. You just become overwhelmed and stressed out with that situation. So maybe you sneak off into your room and you try and just spend some alone time, and maybe your spouse comes in and starts saying, hey, we got this bill to pay, and are we going to visit our parents this weekend? And that just stresses you out to the point where you just pass out. And you're just like, you know what, I'm just going to sleep. So you go to sleep and you wake up in the morning and you deal with this whole stressful day all over again, and you never really fully dealt with it the day before. You're not dealing with it today, and you're not going to be dealing with it until you look in the mirror and notice that you've been losing your hair. So that is one group of people that just are not able to cope with their stress. They just keep going every single day. You might want to call them workaholics or busybodies, or just people that they're go, go, go. They don't really stop to think about things that are going on in their life that are stressing them and how to properly deal with them. But now let's go and explain group two. Group two are a body of people who've experienced something in their life that is very, very stressful. And whatever might have happened to you, it's a traumatic event that you cannot cope with, you cannot let go, you can't eat because you're thinking of the situation, you can't sleep sometimes because you're thinking of the situation, you can't be yourself in certain relationships because of the situation. And it could stem from anywhere from childhood trauma, whether you were abused as a child, that could be sexually, emotionally, mentally. It could be somebody going through a very nasty divorce, maybe you found something out about your spouse, or you're just dealing with abuse that happened in a relationship, emotional, once again, mental. It could be anything that happened between you and your partner. Then there are certain situations like a loss in the family, something that was unexpected, or even if it was expected, you've lost someone or a part of your family and you just can't seem to get over it. And maybe you found out something from the doctor, something that you never thought that you would have to deal with in a million years, and now you're suffering from it. So these are two very specific groups of people, because in the situation where you are not able to cope with your everyday stressors, things that people can cope with on an everyday basis, that's really important that we figure out how to manage the stress of our everyday life, because as long as we're living, we are going to encounter stress. So what are some healthy ways for us to deal with that? And then when it comes to the group of people who have dealt with something really extreme and something traumatizing and something that they can't get over, that is a completely different group of people who really needs a different source of help. And I'm going to explain how we can help both of these groups of people. So guys, I've been in both of these groups at one point or another, whether it just be life or whether it be trauma. But the fact is, I had to deal with both. I had to figure out a healthy way to deal with both. And it wasn't until I got sick that I realized what was really going on in these situations. So what I want to do is kind of like give you a little breakdown of how stress can cause hair loss. It starts off with you being super stressed out about whatever your situation is, whether it's your everyday life that you're not coping with properly, or it is a traumatic experience that you don't know how to handle. You go from that stress will cause you to not eat properly. It will cause you to not sleep properly. It will cause you to physically do things to yourself, whether it's pulling out your hair, whether it's cutting yourself, whether it's being in places, drinking and eating things that you know are damaging to your body, doing things to just feel good and to cope with your situations that you're damaging your body. So what happens is you're stressed out, then you start to do things to cope, but it's not a healthy way of coping. What that leads to is a breakdown of your immune system. Your immune system protects your body from outside harm and outside triggers, toxins and environmental hazards that once certain things get into your body, then they can cause a lot of havoc. Your immune system helps your body to be able to fight back and defend itself. However, if your immune system is now broken down because you're not eating and sleeping and taking care of yourself, now all of those toxins and those things in the environment are getting into your body, and they're causing a lot of damage, and they're causing you to now be susceptible to illness and sickness. Now, it could be anything. It could be thyroid issues. It could be extreme allergies. It could be migraines. It could be just pains in your body. It could be anything. And those sicknesses and those illnesses are usually the underlying reason why most of us lose our hair. So thyroid condition, I had that, and it's directly linked to an autoimmune issue. Candida overgrowth is something else that I had and I suffered with, and that is directly tied to your immune system. And alopecia, as most of us know, is directly tied to your immune system. When your immune system is not working properly, when it is not healthy and defending your body against all these terrible things in the world, then you're going to get sick and you are going to experience hair loss. So what I want to talk about are some of the ways that we can properly handle stress and not get our immune system broken down to the point that we're suffering from illness and then suffering from hair loss. So let's get into that right now. So the way to handle stress for both groups are very, very different. I'm actually going to start off with a group of people who've experienced a very traumatic experience, because it needs a little bit more nurturing for some of us who've been through very terrible situations. A lot of us don't want to talk about our issues. A lot of us are programmed to just keep going and to just keep doing what we have to do. You don't really stop to realize that you are deteriorating and that you need help, and that sometimes in order for us to really move forward, we need to take a step back. We need to really think about what happened. We need to process what happened. We need to mourn about what happened, and we need to talk to somebody about what happened. If you are suffering from a traumatic experience that you haven't told anybody, or maybe you've confided in somebody but that person was just listening ears and they didn't actually offer any help or any sort of resolution, maybe you're still in a situation where you are still suffering, I beg you to get help. I urge you that if you need to speak to somebody, if you need help, then get help. However, if you are suffering in silence, do not ever hesitate to contact me. So that's one thing you can do if you're one of those people in a very traumatic situation. You can get that help that you need. And then once you do that, you're going to eventually need the same thing that the people on the other side need. And these are the people that are dealing with everyday stressors that they can't cope with. So when you're dealing with stressors in your life and you don't really know how to cope with some of the things that you're dealing with, some very practical things that you can do are anywhere from take a walk. Just take a nice long walk and just get some fresh air. One of the things that I used to really like to do is to just go into a warm bath and have my candles lit, my scented candles. There's natural scented candles and natural incense. You can even drop some essential oils into your water like lavender or chamomile. You can hang out with people that make you smile and make you laugh. So don't hang out with the people that have a lot of negative stories and maybe gossip, but people that you just like to just laugh with and enjoy. hang out with your children. I find that children sometimes, they just really get your mind off of things because they start asking you silly questions and you're just like, oh my goodness, like you guys are so sweet, I love you. Watching funny movies, I love watching funny movies. So there are very practical things that you can do to really just relieve the stress in a natural way. There are a lot of natural foods that you can eat. I know that there's blueberries, avocados, oatmeal, green leafy vegetables, dark chocolate. They release natural endorphins that make you happy, and it's just a natural happiness chemical that goes off in your brain when you eat certain foods. I think oysters is one, walnuts is one, but don't quote me. If for all of this information, please check out my website. I'm going to have a stress and hair loss section so you guys can really go through it and to figure out things that you can do that can help you to release some of your stress. And if you need to take a supplement, there are really great supplements that help you to calm down and just help you to release your anxiety and your stress. I'm going to put all of this on my website, but one of the vitamins that you can take are the B vitamins. The B complexes are really good. Vitamin C is very good. Magnesium, calcium, those are really good at helping you to just relax and be calm. And I know magnesium is really good for sleep. So you might want to check into just having a natural supplement to just help you to calm down. Eating some natural healthy foods, drinking chamomile tea is very relaxing and calming. And then, doing something to help you to manage the stress. But the first thing that you really have to do is to recognize that you are stressed out. So once you recognize you're stressed out, then you can start to implement time for yourself. Say, I'm taking 10, 15 minutes just by myself, whether you go to your car or whether you go to the library or to the gym or just for the walk, just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, just dedicate some time to yourself. I know a lot of people are workaholics and they just go, but if you really just take a moment to think that if you can heal yourself by loving on yourself and giving yourself time and things that it needs, that will do so much for your body, and you will start to notice your hair is growing back, and it's just amazing. And I've been there, I've done that, I've done diets, which is a completely different video. But as far as stress goes, the main thing is you figure out what is causing the stress, and then you figure out natural ways of healing yourself. But if you have any questions whatsoever, please leave it down below. I am always happy to answer your comments and your emails, and if you want to talk to me, feel free to go to my website, check out the consultations. I talk to people all the time and I just love it. So thank you guys so much for connecting with me. If you haven't liked the Facebook page, please go like the Facebook page. That is how I'm going to be encouraging you guys and keeping you encouraged 2016. Check out my website. There's a lot of great information about a lot of great hair growth tips, including this video. I'm going to have more detailed information about stress and how you can relieve your stress. And then, guys, thank you so much for watching one of my videos. Don't be a stranger. Let's stay connected, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.